Hello, this is Debbie, and this is Light Up Your Worth. I'm so excited that you're here today, and I have the most delightful guest with me today, Jose Toussaint, and she is coming from the other side of the pond. As you guys know, I'm in the States, and she's over in Australia, which I just love. We met initially through a coaching program, and I started to follow her Instagram account. And as we started to connect and messaging, I watched a video with her doing her sounding bowls outside with teenagers near water. And I was just what's the word I'm looking for? Just drawn to the energy of what she was doing, and really sheer amazement that she could have teenagers be participating. Because if any of you have teenagers, you know that they're teenagers, right? Like they're pretty, they have their own opinions, and having them do something. And so I thought, wow, they must really be drawn to this as much as I am. So without further ado, I would love for you to meet Hosey. I just like screwed up your name. I'm so sorry.
I'm
Oh
used
my
to it.
gosh.
I call myself Sam when I go to a takeaway shop. I say they ask my name. I said Sam.
Easier. So we're all born with different challenges, right? We have strengths and we have our opportunities. And so my opportunity is punctuation. It's something that I've been working on my whole life. So you can imagine, I'm always trying to get people's names right. And sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. So my apologies.
Well, if you get a tongue twist again, just call me Sam, okay?
Okay, I'll write down Sam. But I am so happy that you are here, Sam. And really, I remember watching this very particular Instagram. I think it was a reel or it was a live. And these teenagers were sitting outside, and they had your bowls were all around them. And they just seemed so peaceful and so engaged in this process. And
yeah. They
was,
were actually really surprised because one of them is my daughter and the other one is a friend. And her friend had a sleepover and they were watching like movie after movie after movie. And I thought, well, not movie after movie. They were just in my opinion, watching a little bit long time TV. And I thought, how can I get them out? What can I do? How can I say, let's go, because as you know, teenagers, once they're stuck behind the TV and watching a good movie, you ain't moving them, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Especially when they have snacks on their laps,
Yes.
And I don't know how I did it, but I said, hey, I'm going down to the waterfront with my singing bowls and the friends is singing bowls. I said, yeah, let's go, let's experience it. So my daughter says, I could see her face for, oh really? Like
Oh, Mom.
with her healing work, no, but she gets a little bit better. And so the friend was really willing to come. So my daughter, but we didn't want to walk. So it's only 400 meters. So, okay, we go in the car. I said, well, this is how it goes, right? So you sit in the middle, I'll put the balls around you, and then you can experiment as well with it. So that's what I did first. Oh, because I have 2 sets of, sticks, and they could play with it. And actually, they were actually surprised that it was so relaxing. They didn't know. They were really relaxed, surprised that it was relaxing. I said, okay, well, you stay there. Then I do the singing, for you. So you just you just close your eyes. I do it for you. And my husband came late because he wanted to see it. I said, oh, I'll just film it. Okay. And that's what he did. So I don't know. And then I thought, oh, well, here's maybe an idea for other people. If you want your teenagers to become a little bit maybe aware or be part of it, maybe it's just to show there is hope. There is hope for our teenagers.
Well, and having experienced singing bowls in person, that it came through, like the same vibration came
Yeah.
through. It was just, I won't tell you how many times I watched it because it will make me sound like a stalker, but it has just been so beautiful to go back and watch it. It's
No, well,
yeah, it's
after you said that, because I didn't actually listen to it only when you put it on, right? And then I thought, oh, well, so what I did, I just listened myself to it, but I put it away so I didn't see it. And then my friend, who's also a singing bowl, does singing bowls, she says, wow, that sounds so relaxing. I said, I know. I didn't know it was me. Or, like it was because as sometimes you do things and so well what you're doing, but you don't know what the other person is how they feel it. So by putting it away and just being in that space of in somebody else's shoes, yes, I can see why you suddenly think, yeah, it was so beautiful and peaceful, because I suddenly heard it myself.
yeah, it's I think I'm going to need to share it on my Instagram page too. I think so that people can really understand what I'm talking about. So I think when we go
Sure.
to publish this, I'll make sure that it's right around that same time so people can
Sure.
see what I'm talking about, because it is so beautiful. But so Sam,
Okay.
yeah, so Sam. So now that we've talked about that, but I am really generally curious about how did you find your way into this spiritual journey and become this amazing healer with that showing up with the bowls and um your other gifts that you have. So I would love to hear what you'd like to share with everybody,
Okay.
with me.
Well, do we have 5 minutes?
Yeah, we do. We got plenty of time.
Okay. So, well, I'm Dutch, so I grew up in Holland, and I have one sister, and my my mother, she was born handicapped, and my father, he he met her in Lourdes on a pilgrim place, so he's strong Catholic. So they met, and he married her, and his faith well made him a strong man, and he was looking after her for 50 years. And but by growing up, I didn't know any better, right? So, but at the same time, I was going to do the same thing as my dad, right? So I wanted to, because he's when you know him, he's very strong in his faith, but he gives a lot, I was not going to be like my dad, right? I I decided I want to work in the prison. I didn't get in there, but then I thought, what's the opposite? What is the casino? I work in the casino. So back in Holland, I was about 17, 18. I applied for the job, and they said, no, your education is way too low. You can't work in the casino. I said, okay, well, whatever. But to make a long story short, when I was younger, I apparently I already said when I was 12, Dad, when I'm old enough, I'm going to travel, and but as a kid, I remember sitting in the classroom, dreaming about, I don't know, about tribes and about communities, and I could see myself kind of, I don't know, it's not important, but in being in a community doing something. And I can't figure it out what it was, but I come to this because it's coming together. And so I was possibly really unhappy as a teenager.
Mhm.
So I started to get a job, and I only went to school for my lunch, possibly in my secondary school, because I didn't want to be there. I just wanted to save up money and travel and see the world. So, which I did. So I went to Israel, and then I came back, and I decided to go to Australia and New Zealand, and I fell in love with New Zealand. It was just so beautiful. Did more traveling, went back home, and blah blah. But I had a big interest in palmistry, in palm reading. I used to go to markets and do palm reading. So I I decided to immigrate to New Zealand, and one of the things I did palm reading on the markets, and I found a job in a bar, and the bar was built opposite a casino, the American casino, Star City, and it was called. I think it was called different. I can't remember at the moment what it was called, but I could see the casino building. I thought, there's my job. So I went for a job interview. They were so happy to take me on, and I was so grateful to be this croupier, and supervising the casino. I even went back to Holland for a year to work in that same casino that refused me many years before. And I was stood there, and I remember standing there. Well, you didn't want me, and I do the same job as all the other people who are there, with no education, but hey, I do the same thing, right? I felt really good. So I went back to New Zealand, and then I got a job in Queenstown, and I woke up one day, and honestly, I could not walk. I could just not, I was so much pain with my back. And I thought, well, let's go to an acupuncture maybe. I never heard of an acupuncture, but it sounded good. So he took the pain away, but then the next day it came back. So I went back to the acupuncturist, and I said, you didn't fix it. It's come back. So, it went away when I was here, but it came back. And then, so I did a little bit more needles, and I went away for 2 days. And because I was a palm reader, I used to go to spiritual churches, or not churches, but groups. There were healers coming together, and we used to do swaps. So somebody would do a Reiki, I would do maybe readings, or, like swaps.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one guy, he did, it was similar to kinesiology. It was called Neuralink. And I saw him, and I went off the table, and it never came back to pain. But maybe it was a setup from the acupuncture too. I don't know. But it never came back. And I thought, oh my goodness, I want to know about this. I want to know how he did that, because suddenly I thought, maybe I can heal my mother, my father, everybody else, what was I thinking? But so that's where my journey started, in 2000. So I started to do Neuralink, and used to carry my massage table, to everybody, if they made a booking, I do home visits. And then I started to work from home because it was a bit tiring, working at nights, and have on the daytime you do your hobby, like something I so enjoyed doing. And then I immigrated to, then I got a baby, unexpected actually. And so then I got a baby, and the three of us moved to Australia, but nobody heard of Neuralink, So I had to re-educate in a language that they knew here. So so I did that, and then I got a job in a nursing home as a diversional therapist, and I was sent on a introduction day for BrainGym, and it's also known as educational kinesiology. And I remember sitting there, and I thought, wow, I can be part of a change every child's world for the better. And anyway, so I went back to the nursing home and I tried it out, right? Because I worked on a unit with dementia. So every day when I used to come to work, they would say, "Who are you?" "Oh, I'm Jose." "Oh, yeah." And in the afternoon, "Who are you again?" "I'm Jose." So I had to introduce myself every day, all day. They kind of remember who I was, but not really. So I did brain gym, the very basic ones, the very basic movements, because brain gym is a movement-based therapy program. I did it like for 2 weeks. I only worked 4 days, so I did 8 days of a period of 2 weeks. I'm not kidding. They remembered my name. They remembered my name, but also each other's names. And in the afternoon, about 4 o'clock, the people go crazy because the sun goes down, and they were even more calmer. So I thought, oh, there's something else in there. So I quit my job, and I want to combine it with Touch for Health Kinesiology and BrainGym. So I started my journey, got so excited. So I became a consultant. Then I wanted to teach people. I continued with my Touch for Health Kinesiology, and the rest is history. And then about 2 years ago, I got severe vertigo. I thought, holy moly, what's happening? And because I was really thinking, well, universe, what do I need to do to kind of, what do I need to do? So I woke up one day and my daughter was saying, "Mom, you're still in bed," because I'm always an early riser. I said, "Yeah, I'm not feeling too good. I feel a bit dizzy. It's like I'm drunk." "Ah, so, well, you have to get up." I said, "Okay." So I get up and I felt like a rag doll. I could not sit up. I thought, no way, no, no, no. And I thought, no, 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 I can't be dependent on my child, it's not possible. I got actually real fright. And I thought, no, 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 get yourself together. Do whatever you need to do. So do your brain gym, do whatever you need to do. Do your reduce the stress. So I went on my knees and on my my knees to the toilet because I really was fasting. I needed to go to the toilet. And I was for 4 days, I felt really unwell. And I thought, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? And I thought, who do I admire? And it's one Japanese acupuncturist, around here. I thought, I actually admire him. What do I need to do? And then I decided to sign up for an acupuncture, a Bachelor of Science course, which will take me 9 years. So I've only 7 years to go. And but that's the journey that we take. So for me, it's never I never seem to stop learning and exploring, because there's always new things coming up. I mean, even the singing bowls, I remember 10 years, when I first, 12 years ago, when I first time I heard the singing bowl, I thought that was noise. That was screaming in my ears. It was screaming. I thought, whoa, what's that noise, And but if you look at energetically, when you look back, I was talking with a friend the other day about it, and because I use the singing bowls in my healing now, it's like I give them a sound bath, and most people really love it when the spirit and soul chooses it, So, but sometimes when things scream at you, that means you have to look at it, But I didn't look at it because I thought, why would you do that for, But here I am doing it, So I just want to say, if it doesn't resonate with you, or you think, wow, what's, that noise, maybe you have to look closer, what's going on for you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love that. Oh,
Yeah.
and you're going to be adding an acupuncturist in. I know it's a journey, but so what is, for people who are listening who have never heard of BrainGym. They've never heard of
Kinesiology.
kinesiology, right? Um, what? How would you explain that to somebody who's new to
Okay. I
this?
thought about it many years, because it's very difficult to explain because it's an experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to me, what I know now, so kinesiology is really developed for the Western mind to understand. So kinesiology is like acupuncture, where we use our fingers. We don't use our we don't use needles, just our fingers. And on top of that, we use muscle testing. So muscle testing is the biofeedback system of your brain. So for an example, uh, so muscle testing, we just hold the arm of somebody. We say yes, no, yes, and that's how the biofeedback system is from you. So you can go to the system it's in your body to see which needs some work or not. Because I don't know if you know about meridians, but I'll show you. Sorry to walk away from the camera there, but so we all have pathways in our body, you see. So I work with 14 meridians. So in the Chinese medicine, there's more meridians, but
Mm-hmm.
so many. But the meridian is the pathway in your body. So if there's a blockage, an energy like a stagnation, that can cause pain. So you can see it like you drive on the motorway, it's an accident. All the cars are coming, there's no
Mm-hmm.
energy going. So you try to unblock it and then it flows again.
Oh, so that's interesting because I see an acupuncturist and I see one, she does some cupping on my back and then she
Yeah,
does this treatment
yeah.
really to keep the energy flowing through my body because I'm not
Mhm.
working on any health conditions. So
Yeah.
she does it to keep it. I go every couple weeks and she does it to
Good.
keep me healthy, really.
Yes,
Um,
it's maintaining your health.
mhm.
So,
Yeah.
and with kinesiology, what is so amazing, I think, is you can work on the unconscious. So it's almost like because we only use 10% conscious, like we are
Mhm.
aware of possibly 7%. So all the other, what's happening with all the other 93%. So that's why it's so beautiful that you can do muscle testing, because you don't have to put a story to it. So because if kinesiology is related to a meridian, right? A
Mhm.
meridian is related to a organ, and an organ is related to an emotion. So when you can change the emotion, the energy, you give energy and flow to it, a free flow, often your story changes too. Your
Oh.
story becomes less important
Mhm.
because you've taken the stress away from it.
Yeah, I was having a conversation with a girlfriend the other day because I had asked her, she was telling me this story about something that she could not do, you know, and I was trying to shift her and I said, "So are you ready to give up that story?" "What?
Mm.
What are you talking about?" And I was like, this experience, you're focusing on this experience that has happened instead of what's possible. Are you
Yeah.
willing to give up this story? And I think as we go through life, we have these, oh, I was sick. Oh, I got divorced. Oh, I lost my job. Oh, woe is me. I make light of it, but
Yeah.
there's these experiences and they become our stories. People know us for, oh, she had cancer, she survived, but that's her story now, right? As it's one of our stories, or I've overcome something and that becomes our story. And I know I have people on here who are sharing their stories, but there's the difference is that that's not who they are. They are now who they're helping
Mm.
versus that story of what they were before. And
Yeah.
for the slight difference for people listening, of well, people are telling stories, but we don't own those old parts of ourselves. So
Stories are there to learn from, and stories are there to pass on, and stories, they're good. It's good to tell a story and share a story, but it's to learn from.
yeah. Now, I didn't realize that kinesiology, did I pronounce that right? Were attached to meridians, and the meridians are attached to a organ. And so, like, if you have an organ that's having issues and it's blocked, then you're able to help bring in
So for an
energy.
example, if you're angry, the emotions of anger, it goes often, you will see it sits in the liver.
Mm-hmm.
So if you wake up between 1 and 3 in the morning, always, you might have to look at your anger issues, right? But if you're not aware of it, then how can you work on it? You see? But so you need to be aware of it first. Yeah, I always wake up between 1 and 3. And then there's a point in your body, you touch it, say, ow, that's so painful, because it relates to this liver. It relates to the liver meridian, which relates to that organ. And the emotion is anger and resentment, right? So, and there's like, so people with anxiety often, so here's some points here that's related to your kidney, So, when they do tapping, the tapping,
Yeah.
that's your kidney points, which is to do with the organ kidney, but so the emotion is related to anxiety and fear. So
yeah, because
so
I have a
when you
sore point right here, right? Like inside the sore. Yeah. So, that's
so you can even let's say, like there's so many things you can do once you know it. You can think about even those points, here, because here's the bladder meridian, goes up, goes here and then there. And there's a technique called emotional stress release. So this takes only like 2 minutes, right? Maybe less than 2 minutes. So I do the exercise with you. So think about something that really bothers you. And then give it a number between 0 and 10. So 0 is no bothersome, and 10 is like, yeah, I'm really bothered by that. Could be really simple.
okay.
You got it?
Yep, I got it.
Okay. So you think about it. So put your hand on your forehead, or you can do it like this. It doesn't matter. But as long as you hold those points, I like it like this. Just focus on your feet for a moment. So you feel your feet. And then you breathe in. And make sure you breathe out a bit longer than you breathe in. And do this 2 more times. So you breathe in and out. Just 1 more time. And out. So focus on your feet. Focus on your breath. Okay, and take your head, when you're done, take it down. Think about the same situation, the thought that you chose before. Give it a number. Has the number gone up or down?
Down.
Yeah, and this was 1 minute. So imagine if you work a little bit longer on it. So this is the point. So it's, this is the point, the in the head, it's called emotional stress release. So this is why, and it's a natural thing too. So if somebody does something out of, oh no, they do often like, oh no, yeah, like,
yeah.
oh
Right?
no,
Oh no, yes, exactly.
because this is the problem solving bit in your brain. It's the area of the problem solver. So by putting your fingers here or your hand, the blood goes to the forehead and then activates, and it's the problem resolving bit in your head, in your brain.
So anybody listening, I've been putting my head on my My forehead.
Then she's trying to call my name, you know, so it's a little bit of a stressor there. And then think,
Mhm.
oh, that's it. You say, that's it. Right.
Oh, oh, I had no idea. Well, thank you for
Mhm.
that little tip for me. You know, I yesterday I actually we have it's allergy season here, right? And so yesterday I really was I used to have really bad allergies. I don't have them so bad these days, but yesterday I woke up and as you know, a half an hour after I woke up, my head was just like I didn't know what it was. I thought, oh, go away. I took some medicine. It didn't go away. But what I realized it was allergies, right? That were really bad allergies. And so I struggled for the day, but I kept trying to find these points of like, okay, there's got to be something that I can do.
Mhm.
Um,
And yeah, that's here as
mhm,
well. So if you have allergies, I would definitely, so if you do this, you can feel you can feel that tense,
uh-huh.
kind of tense, yeah. So when you do this and you find those points, so when you go by your
Oh,
eyebrow, there's kind of, you feel like a hole, you know, it's like a dip there.
mm-hmm.
It's a good one. And then you opposite, and then
With your cheek. Mm-hmm.
yes, yes.
Oh,
It really frees up. It really frees up. And this is the thing. So if this is blocked, so this is on your
mm-hmm.
stomach meridian, your bladder meridian. So bladder is the sister of kidney. It can cause for no reason anxiety and fear. You know, it doesn't even have to be attached to a story. Or like stomach, you know, the stomach meridian is to do with empathy and sympathy and, you
Oh,
know, how you digest your food. Mm.
oh,
And
oh,
and your eyes. So therefore, you never eat and watch TV because you're double digesting.
oh, wow.
So when you eat, just just sit with people and talk. Or if you're on your own, well, I know it's boring, but just eat, you know, because if you watch TV or YouTube or something, you're actually double digesting.
Really? So when I eat almost every meal, that's where I read my book. That's
I,
not good
I
then.
know, I know, not many people do that, but the thing is,
Huh?
but that's only my knowledge. It's only
Yeah,
in my awareness, because
yeah.
your
Oh.
eyes is to do with, you know, there is the stomach meridian, right? So your
Mhm.
eyes need to digest, you know, the eyes, we all take it all in, we digest with our eyes information as well, but it still have an effect on our body. So when you eat at the same time, your body tries to digest physically, you know. So yeah.
Oh,
So
that's
this is one of the
fascinating.
things too. If
Mhm.
people want to lose weight, you know, this is one of a simple thing to start with, is actually only eat and chew about 28 times, you know. Chew. Because if you read your book or something else, how many times are you actually chewing?
Mhm.
Maybe two, and then you swallow. You're probably not even aware that you chew. But your body is aware that you're eating,
Mhm.
and your eyes are doing something else that needs focusing and actually knowing what you are doing. You know, it's just double. Well, anyway, that's just
Oh, that is
my
fascinating.
thing. You know.
No, well, you know what? I'm going to try that. So
Yes.
between
So
now and the time we're talking and the time I publish it, I am going to do that. And
yes.
before we publish this, I'm going to make some notes about this because
Mm.
I could clearly lose a few pounds. And so, and since
Honestly,
it's
half of your
simple,
body, so I wouldn't know. But
yeah,
the thing is, if you do this for a month, you know,
uh-huh,
just focus on just eating,
mm-hmm,
chewing 28 times, you know, like you will be amazed how many. Let me know in 1 month. That would be very interesting. You can do this as a case study, you know, and if it
right.
works for you, you can pass it on
Mhm.
to your clients.
Wow, that is so, so powerful. So as you work with your as your clients,
Just before I forget, sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, you get stressed about it that you can't do anything else than just eating. Use your stress points. Use those points,
Oh,
so you don't have to stress so much about it.
oh,
You know, it's
okay.
like, oh no, I can't possibly just eat. I'll just breathe in and breathe out. Just enjoy the ride. Just
Oh,
enjoy the ride.
well, I will remember there's the book, The Power of Habits. And he
Hmm.
talks about in The Power of Habits, like say you go for the cookie in the afternoon, thinking about why do you go for the cookie? Is it the cookie itself? Or is it like in a work environment where you're going to go then and get some socialization, talk to a coworker? So he did this experiment with himself and he found out it was because he wanted some interaction for 5 minutes. And that was the trigger was the cookie, and he would eat the cookie. And so he's like, okay, so to change this habit, you have to replace it with another reward. And
That's
he just said, I really was going to talk to the coworker. I didn't need the cookie. And
yeah.
I could just go there and just go talk to so that was part of, all these brain studies. And so in applying what you're sharing, I can use that same philosophy. If my reward really is just to ground with myself and get the nourishment and not try to say like I'm trying to be extra productivity and help my body digest the food. If I'm wanting, my reward would be to lose a few pounds in a month. And because it is getting to be spring here and summer will be here soon. And that means we want to bring out those cute little sandals and sundresses. And, wouldn't that be just feel better, right? And have my digestive system working even more efficiency
And,
versus me
and
trying to be extra productivity. Yeah.
that's right. And you will see that your foggy brain. So sometimes you possibly have a brain fog, as
Mhm.
well. So there will be less too.
Oh, I absolutely love that. Oh my gosh. So if people, you have with how are you working right now and how the world is running? So I'm in the States. Do you do stuff with people in the States or do you do things
Yeah, Zoom.
over?
I
Mhm.
do Zoom. Yes, because COVID as for everybody came along, and it really opened a whole new world for me. So I was quite happily to have somebody on my table, be in my zone, just hear what I need to do. I didn't talk much, I just say, give information, if information what I see, and that's it. And I did kinesiology, but also brain gym. So because I can't choose, I
Mhm.
like them both. And so then, so COVID came along, and my one of my clients, particular, he's vision impaired. He said, "Oh, I still want to do brain gym with you." I said, "But how?" "Oh, go on Zoom." I said, "No, I can't do this on Zoom. No, I can't." And then another client wanted to continue with kinesiology. "Well, how can I do kinesiology on Zoom? How is that possible?" And then I thought, okay, I will try it. So I've learned to be very specific. So that means, I mean, I do believe in self-responsibility, especially with brain gym, but that gave me an opportunity to learn to talk, but also the people on the other side in Zoom, it actually worked better because they took self-responsibility. I had to say, well, you have to touch this point, that point, this is how it will work, and the 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 results were really good. And my vision impaired person, I saw him during COVID, I think 3 times a week, just to maintain his well-being and mental well-being. So it has been a really great journey. So because of that, I've been working with people in the bush, in Australia, who I would never ever be able to see. Um, People in New Zealand. I've started slowly with people in America, because of the time difference can be tricky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's and this is for everybody. It's you and the whole world, you know. There's enough for everyone. There's enough, there's literally enough for everyone, because I have no other words. It's you and the whole wide world. And make sure you stay you as a person. Don't compare yourself. Just make sure you stay true to you. Because
Oh,
man, it's so challenging to become somebody else, because everybody's screaming, be like this, be like that, you know. No, be you, even on Zoom. That's what I really want to say, because
mm-hmm.
if you try to be somebody else that you're not truly are, you can become either very depressed, or people see through you,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Isn't that the truth? And I think this last year, have you experienced where people had more time to themselves,
Yeah.
and so they had to spend time with themselves? And what I have witnessed is a lot of people have discovered that they may not know themselves, so they're not connected with themselves. And
Yeah.
we've had this
Yeah.
huge, like, I don't want to say this huge awakening for so many people.
Yes.
We're just ahead of them, a
Yes.
few steps ahead of them to help them. And maybe what has been your experience with?
Yes. Well, way more people are awakening up to what it is, you know.
Mhm,
So I think for a lot of people, the world has been deflated for them.
mhm,
Who would ever thought that airplanes would stop flying? Um, you know, there are people lost their jobs in high positions. They would never think they will ever lose their job. You know, so a lot of people had to come back to themselves. The problem, I think, is we spend too much time on the computer, so we become very Zoom fatigued, you
mhm.
know, and so we don't move enough, and we need movement to be able to think clear. So I've started to do like walk and talk. Some people on the phone, and I do walk and talk therapy, which
Mhm.
seems to work really well as well. Because stagnation, we need to move, otherwise we get stagnation. And and I think also, you know, to go back to your question, a lot of healers, you know, as you know, are daring to step out of their closet and say, hey, I am actually a healer. I am a kinesiologist. If you want my services, I'm here, you know. And we were able to explore and maybe provide sometimes for free services as well, because we really wanted to help people to get out of their stuckness, you know, and because it hasn't been easy for people. It really became like a collective confusion as well. Everybody was confused. It
Mhm.
becomes collective. So it's a lot of people, and it starts with one, you know. I'm sure, you know, when you step out of your closet and say,
Mhm.
hey, I'm a healer, this is what I can do for you, then the person who knows you and is a secret healer is able to step out too and say, hey, Deb, would you like to work with me? Because you're on the same wavelength as me, you
Mhm.
know? And then we can
Yes.
become a collective group of healers and make the vibration higher.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting teary because it was such a hard decision to step out. And I
Mm,
did it last year, and then the world changed. And then I didn't step back in, but definitely was not visible, right? Like I had
mm,
some life stuff, and I had to focus just on getting through the year, really.
mm.
And at the beginning of the year, I had this nagging thing of like, people need you. You
Yes,
need
they
to
do.
step out. You need to step out. And so when I launched this podcast February 27th, 2021, not only did I step out, I just like put it on blast, right? This visibility. And because of that, I've met you, And because I have met so many beautiful souls, and it's this ripple effect that you're talking about of not only raising our vibrations, but we're raising the global world's vibration. Each time one of it is it like one every time one person raises their vibration, it impacts a million people,
Yeah,
is what I've read. And so us just now even talking and sharing this space is raising the vibration of we don't even know who's going to be listening to this, right? And
that's right.
like, isn't that just beautiful? And it's so much more than just you and I. And maybe somebody listening will say, okay, I'm going to be visible. I practice,
Hope so. I
you know,
hope so, because you know, energy doesn't know any distance. I hope so.
yeah. Oh, I just love that. Now, would you mind? I know that you have your special little bowls there, but how would somebody reach you if they're
Oh,
interested in doing some work with you? Um, because I wanted to see if you wouldn't mind, even for 30 seconds or whatever it is that you feel called to, just to have people understand, like, what is a sound bath, right? Like, why was I so drawn to this video? Um,
well, I so because I presume it's ending our conversation, so I can end with with the, just a few seconds of sound,
mm.
you know. But I'm at the moment I'm a real Facebook girl, so I am working on Instagram. So you can find me. So my business name is called Create Happy Minds.
Mm,
I like because I sometimes I think I want to change it, but in my mind I think if I can create a happy mind,
mm.
then the rest will follow. Hopefully, the mind is so big, you know. I don't know. So my business name is Create Happy Minds. You can find me on Facebook. You see my name, Jose Toussaint, and that's it. And
Yeah.
so you can text me if you want to, but I'm in Australia, so I might not always answer straight back because um you know, the time difference. You can always do messenger, you know. You can leave me a funny video. I have a few people, you know, getting their confidence up of leaving um funny videos of 20 seconds so they get used to seeing their face on camera, you
Hmm.
know. So don't be shy. Just so anyway, I'll show you my singing bowls. So I put them ready for you.
Look at
But
that.
I because I have 7 of them, but I only put 4 out of them. Four for you. So this is my so this is to do with your throat chakra. If nobody knows what a chakra is, I will talk to you about another day. But this is related to your throat. This is related to third your third eye, and this is your solar plexus, and this is your root one. So it all will work in a perfect way. So I just let you know the sound. is for you.
Oh, thank you. What a wonderful way to wrap that up. Oh my
Thank
gosh. I just feel this calm all over me. Thank you so much.
thank you.